So what's up, everyone, and welcome to the official start of the Christmas season. Now, if you work in retail at the mall or one of the giant home improvement stores, you have been in Christmas mode since Halloween. I do so love the Christmas time of year, but there are times when I walk around these places that have all these giant inflatables and 10 million twinkling lights, and I swear Santa has been in every store that I've walked into. I start to wonder, like the song we just saw Becky Kelly says in her song, where is the line to see Jesus? Where exactly is Jesus? Then I really begin to think on this. If an alien landed on this planet and it didn't speak in beeps and blurps, that I could actually understand them, maybe it's using their own mind powers, but I could understand them. And they asked me, hey, what is Christmas anyway? What would my answer be? But you guys know my brain can't stop there. How would I describe Christmas as a full-on believer in Jesus if Jesus didn't exist? I mean, look around. He doesn't seem to exist with all the decorations. As a matter of fact, would we still be having Christmas if Jesus didn't exist at all? Christmas came about as a pagan ritual to celebrate the arrival of what we call the winter solstice. The winter solstice, also known as the hibernal solstice, occurs when either the Earth's poles reaches its maximum tilt away from the sun. The winter solstice is the day with the shortest period of daylight and longest night of the year. And when the sun is at the lowest daily maximum elevation in the sky, each polar region experiences continuous darkness or twilight around the winter solstice. Now, when we say the word pagan, we are using the term as a Christian to represent anyone who believes in a deity other than Jesus and or our one true God. So, would we even use the term pagan then? Okay, I'm starting to go a little too far. Brain's working over. But how would you describe Christmas without Jesus? Okay. Can't help myself, got to do it. Would it even be called Christmas? Maybe we could call it Solsticemas or Xmas or something weird like that. As we stand around the shopping place, we just happen to be with our friendly E.T. looking at trees all lit up, reindeer and snowman, and some heavy-set dude all dressed up in red on every size inflatable imaginable. Now, I didn't want to use the word fat, as one of my alien friends seemed to have eaten a few too many human friends, so I try not to offend. So, Alf, hey, we are celebrating the shortest day of the year here, knowing that every day after this will be longer. That is until they start getting shorter again, and we do this all over again. We go outside, we cut down a small little pine tree, or get this, you can actually buy plastic ones now, already in a box. And get these plastic trees, they can come with or without lights on them, and they can be in any color imaginable. Then you put on plastic or glass balls of every shape, size, and color, or cartoon character there is upon the tree. Then you go into your garage and you grab a tall ladder and you hang up lights that flash and change color, to which you can tune into your car radio to see there are in unison with the song, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Then you set up at least 10 plastic balloons in the shape of some cartoon characters you may have hung up on your tree wearing Christmas outfits. Plug them all into an electrical source and hope they don't blow a fuse. If your giant balloons fill up, you stand them up in your yard with happiness and glee, unless your neighbor has more or taller inflatables than you. Now, you go inside and you make hot cocoa and cookies. You get to drink the cocoa, but the cookies you made, you have to put them on a plate for someone else. The cookies are actually for the heavy-set dude in red named Santa Claus, who is going to break into your house, take your cookies, but in exchange for the cookies, Santa's going to leave you boxes wrapped in pretty paper, filled with things like underwear and socks for you to open in the morning. Or he does this while you're sleeping. He isn't going to break in to your house unless you are sleeping. Now, this bizarro burglar who is there only to steal your snickerdoodles and leave these presents that he puts under a tree, also won't give you anything except maybe a lump of coal if you're bad. So you must be good, for goodness sakes. And after Santa is done dumping his stuff off at your house, he jumps in a sleigh parked on your roof and then goes to your neighbor with bigger inflatables and does it again to them. Because they are good and have such an enormous snowman globe. Oh, did I say that the sleigh has no motor? But it is pulled by reindeer. I counted 9 of them, and one of them had this crazy lit up red nose. As you stand there in front of the aliens with a serious look on your face, the aliens begin to look at each other. Then they look around and accept what you say without hesitation. Even though they know flying reindeer breaks every law of nature and physics in the known galaxy. But as they look around, what is there that would give them any doubt? The aliens decide to load up the spacecraft with Xmas mementos to take back to their home planet of Umdorf. They grab a tree, ornaments, some inflatables, and lights, some wrapping paper, and something called fruitcake. Jump into the craft and warp speed back to the home. Wait a minute. They're coming back. Oh, they're throwing out the fruitcake. And there they go again, going home. Now, I know that is a slight exaggeration, but isn't that what we see? What is advertised everywhere we look? That is how I would describe an Xmas looks like. Here is a $1 million question. Is how you see this holiday as Xmas a holiday without Jesus? Many cultures celebrate the solstice. But would this holiday be where it is without Jesus? Would there be an animated cartoon played on Thanksgiving called The Grinch That Stole Solsticemas? My belief is no. I'm not saying we wouldn't be celebrating something to do with the shortest day of light. But I don't think Christmas is what it is without Jesus. Now, I want to clarify. And I am sure you will hear someone say, the naysayers, they're out there.
But Jesus really wasn't born on December 25th.
Yes, that's most likely positively true. Church officials in the 4th century adopted the celebration of Christmas to commemorate the birth of Jesus. The Bible does not specify the date of Jesus' birth. So the church leaders chose December 25th to attract non-Christians who celebrate the winter solstice. Nope, Christians, we didn't steal it. Every good ministry knows that borrowing a good lesson idea or event is just good, plain ministry. Just saying. So, I want to go back just a bit in time. Before our alien friends took off to their home planet and trying to tell the story of Christmas. And yes, I said Christmas. Okay, Mork from Mork. You see, the human race made a true mess of themselves. They totally disobeyed their Creator and Lord and separated us from Him, which our Lord, who we call God, didn't like it. So, He set forth a plan to get us back to His good graces of love for us and allows us to be with Him again. So the day we celebrate with all the trees, inflatables, competition, and lights, along with the heavyset guy in the red bringing gifts for all the good kids, happens, God sent a baby to be born here on earth. I think if we stopped there, the aliens would roll their eyes and think we were full of baloney. I mean, Abe Lincoln was a dude. We don't shut everything down for his birthday. Well, we used to. See, our story can't stop with just the 25th. We need to tell them the rest of the story. You see, this baby grew up a lot differently than any of us. And I'm going to guess you aliens too. You see, Jesus, this guy grew up perfectly. He never sinned or messed up, ever. He lived a simple, sin-free life. And then his last 3 years of his life, he unleashed his ministry that changed the world to see who his Father is, who God really was. But his last 3 years made the guys who thought they knew his Father better than Jesus very jealous. So they decided to arrest him, try him, and then kill him. As the aliens stand there with what I think is their mouths ajar, you tell them it's okay. Jesus knew this all was going to happen. And so Jesus was placed on this wooden thing we call a cross. He hung there until he died. That may be enough for a tree, but a giant inflatable? Nah, man, we need a little bit more. But God and Jesus gave us so much more. You see, when Jesus died, He took upon Himself all the sin in the world, all our mess-ups, upon Himself. Every person, every sin, yours, mine, everyone's. And if that wasn't enough, Jesus rose from the grave 3 days later to finish teaching his friends how to tell the world about him. And to, in essence, show us the way to the pearly gates of heaven, to be reunited with his Father. When we hear this, we can understand why those 4th century church officials saw the importance as well as the relevance to celebrate this Jesus' birth. Knowing we already celebrate his death with a large bunny, lots of chocolate, but that's another story for the aliens. This is a story of incredible sacrifice. An amazing story of God's planning and execution. And when I say execution, that was part of the plan. Knowingly, understood and accepted to happen to his beloved Son on behalf of the world, all of us, to reunite us in God's perfect kingdom. As I tell this story of Christmas over the story that I told earlier of Solstice, which one do you think the aliens would take back to their home planet of Umdorf? Which story would they want to celebrate? A heavy-set dude breaking in to leave stuff because it's dark outside? Or a baby that is born to give us hope that we will again see the light of God? So, I want to go full circle here. Back to Becky Kelly's song, "Where is the Line to See Jesus?" And look at some of the lyrics she says. Christmas time was approaching. Snow is starting to fall. Shoppers choosing their presents. People filled the mall. Children waiting for Santa with excitement and glee. Little boy tugged on my sweater. He looked up and asked me, "Where's the line to see Jesus? Is he here at the store?" If Christmas time is his birthday, then why don't we see him more? As aliens travel back to the mother planet and hearing the story of Jesus, they accepted it over a heavy-set, dressed guy in red. Still don't want to offend that one alien who might think he's fat. I mean, I did see War of the Worlds. No need to start a conflict over a glandular issue, if they have glandulars. After the aliens hear these stories, both of them, and remember what they saw in the mall, or in the giant home improvement stores too. My hope is their first thought is, where is Jesus in all this? Now, before I go any further, Santa, trees, decorations, and even fruitcake are okay. Well, maybe not fruitcake. But it's cool to have a way to celebrate. Like someone had to think that blowing out candles on a cake, especially a person with dentures, as your place bets on the teeth flying out or not. But I digress. We all celebrate things in very different ways. But celebrating Christmas is far greater than celebrating Solstice or Xmas. As we are not celebrating a way, we are celebrating a why. Why we celebrate. The most important of things. The reason for hope. The reason for joy. The reason for love. The reason for eternal life. The reason for the season. Jesus. I asked the question if you thought there would be a celebration on the 25th without Jesus. Me? I figured, sure. There will always be the shortest day of sunlight. But this celebration seems to be a way to celebrate. This seems to be a way to celebrate the darkness, right? But Christmas is why we celebrate the light of the world. The shortest day of sunlight is a glow with the Father's S-O-N, sunlight. I pray that our alien friends, if they so exist, come to know that light, feel his embrace of love upon them, and they don't hit anyone when they throw out the fruitcake. I mean, those things are dense.